How are people able to put other people in places they've never been, or able to even clone themselves? We've seen this done in movies and on TikTok. I'm gonna break down how it's done. These are probably the first techniques that people learn in VFX, taking out an element of one picture and putting it on another in order to create a whole new picture. These techniques are matte painting, masking, and rotoscoping. The first one, matte paintings, come from glass shots, which were used in the early 1900s. Artists painted elements onto a glass sheet and left some of the parts transparent so that the cameraman could shoot real life backgrounds into them so that the backgrounds could integrate with one another. For example, in this glass shot, the artist painted the building and left the transparent parts for the floor in the actual location, which creates an optical illusion, making it seem like there's an actual building there. Fast forward a couple of decades, filmmakers are putting these matte paintings over the film and making the areas where the actual actors are transparent to achieve these crazy, amazing backgrounds. Except these are real now. This guy is actually in Mordor, and this guy is actually in space. These worlds become so real, they suck you in to the point that most of us are adults and we own lightsabers, magic rings, and wands. Now, the problem with matte paintings is that they're not so good with moving subjects. No problem, we're in the mid-80s. We have this genius who tells these people that he wants the matte paintings to move. And they say, cool, dude. And then masking was born because computers, right? Now you can take a character, put them in the middle of a scene without separating the background and the foreground. You just put the character on top of the footage and mask or hide the parts that would be hidden by the foreground objects in order to look like the characters really interacting with the scene. You do this by outlining the foreground objects, and that would make those parts of the character disappear. To take it a step further, you could have one actor play two different characters with the same face in the same shot at the same time. You would have the actor perform the scene twice and overlay one performance over the other to make them look like they were in the same room the whole time. And this is why we love technology. Now, the third and final technique is kind of weird because it's the oldest, but somehow it's going to most definitely outlive the previous techniques that we spoke about. See, rotoscoping has been there since the early 1800s, if not earlier, and it's basically tracing the movements of a real-life moving thing. I use the word thing because you could trace the movements of literally anything. It was used primarily for animation in the past, from the spinny thing, the phenakistoscope, all the way to Cinderella and all the other Disney classic animations. And from there to now, where we could just click a single button and the computer would outline or trace our subject and all of its movements using the power of AI. Side note, you could say that masking is a form of rotoscoping if you are masking a moving subject. Now back to the AI. If you have one of the latest smartphones, you could do this with a touch of a finger. Create amazing pictures and videos for your YouTube or some other social media. Rotoscoping will be the future of transparent footage because it's writing on the back of AI. And as we've all seen, I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. So I hope you learned something today, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.